Hey guys, it's me, Nintendo Lucas, and we're back with another episode on how to 100% Super Mario Odyssey. Today, we are getting all 24 power moons in the darker side of the moon. So if I help you out at all, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell down below so you don't miss out on another episode. Without further ado, let's get started. Now, one quick thing I want to mention is to unlock the darker side, you need to beat the game. So that's cap. You need to beat all of the kingdoms, cap through Moon Kingdom. So you need to beat the game, and then you need to collect 250 power moons to unlock the dark side. But if you've been following along with the series, you should have way over 250 power moons to unlock it. So you should already have the dark side unlocked right after you beat the game. Now there's a couple of things I want to explain. The darker side has no moon rocks. So there are no moon rock power moons. And you can once you access the darker side of the moon, all power moons are accessible. And another thing, I will be showing you how to fight all of the bosses in this kingdom. So when we get to episode 50, I will not be showing you how to fight these bosses. So now for real, let's get started. In order to get Arrival at Rabbit Ridge, you're just going to capture this wire, and you're going to go all the way down here. Then you're going to go this way, jump up here, jump up here, jump up here, and you're going to grab this wire and come this way. And then you're going to go across here and go into this door. Now, to get this multi-moon, you kind of have to go through like a boss rush. And the boss rush is all the brutals. So that's what we're doing. So Topper is pretty simple. Now, the reason why Topper is more difficult than usual is because there's moon gravity. Plus, in the second and third phases, he gets a bunch of hats. So that's why Topper is pretty difficult. Okay, so you can either knock off all of his hats, or if you wait for him to do that red circle attack, you can just ground pound on his back. And you also want to make sure to hit all of the hats. Because the hats will disappear when you hit them. Also, there's a chance that you hit the hat Toppers in. But anyway, if we hit him a couple of times, and then wait for him to do his spin attack, we can just ground pound on his back. And after 3 hits, we kill Topper. Now, we don't get a power moon yet. We have to continue on. So we're gonna go up here. Because, yeah, you'll make these stairs appear after defeating him. So now we're gonna go up here. And now we're going to go around this, again. To get into this door. Because we're now on the 2nd floor. And we're now fighting Harriet. So you want to throw the bomb back at her, then jump on her head. Then you're going to... After she drops the bomb, if she's still hovering over the bomb, you want to hit it at her. I just missed the first and second one. Oh, I missed that. That's okay. There we go. Now we're going to jump on her head. Alright, there we go. And now we just need one more hit. And also, if you can't aim very well when hitting these bombs back at her, after she throws 6 blue bombs, so 2 blue bombs each time, so a total of 3 times, she'll throw these like big purple ones that will get stuck in the ground, and then you just have to hit them once, and then they'll automatically spin around and hit her. So if you can't aim hitting the blue bombs back at her, she will eventually throw some big purple ones to make it easier for you. But anyways, you want to continue on. And now you will be on the 3rd floor. This time we are fighting Spewart. So it's just like normal. You're just going to walk over, throw Cappy, jump on his head. Oh. If I would have timed it correctly, so if you time it correctly, you can actually, jump on him when he's like that to make the fight go by quicker. But anyway, there's another hit. Just like that. And there's the final hit. So as you can see, Spewart is always pretty easy. Alright, so now you want to continue on. Oh. And here we are on the 4th floor. And now we are fighting Rango. So what you want to do is he'll throw the hats at you. You just want to hit him with Cappy. And then if you hit him with Cappy... So basically, here, let me do this again. So he's going to throw the hats at you. You want to hit him with Cappy. And then you're going to bounce on them. When you get over his head, you're just going to ground pound. And then he'll also jump at you. But if you backflip, depending on if he stays still or not, you can actually jump on his head like that to make him stop bouncing. Oh. That's alright. And there's the final hit. Now, you do want to be careful because, like, as you can see, I'm pretty close to death. But that's... So you do want to be careful. And I'll show you why. So as you saw... We went through 4 boss fights, and if we continue on this way, there's still no health. Like, no hearts. Except for this one. There's this heart, but that's all you get. So you have to fight, so you want to try not to take damage, so that way, when you get to the, when you get after the 4th Brutal, you can get some health. Unless you're in assist mode, you can just pause and heal, like I did. But anyway, once you get up here, you're going to go into the pipe. And now we're on the very top. And if you look at that, we have a giant Mecha Brutal here, just like the one in Bowser's Kingdom. However... Unlike the one in Bowser's Kingdom, so in Bowser's Kingdom, you would use Pokios to attack him. Now we use Hammer Bros, which is really interesting. Also, there's no rocks, so you can't heal in this fight. But you're just going to go up to his leg, and you can either press Y to throw hammers, or you can just shake the remotes if you're playing with Joy-Cons. Then you're going to come up here, and just press Y, like that. And now he's ready, so we can start throwing hammers at his legs, like that. And you can also wait for him to stop walking, or you don't have to wait for him to stop walking. It doesn't really matter. There we go. There's the 2nd hit. Now we have this phase where he has those rainbow legs, so we gotta Watch out. Alright, now he's going to stop right here in the middle. And when he does, you can just start throwing more hammers at his leg. And there we go. Now we can climb up this way and press Y to throw some hammers at the Harriet. And there's the third hit. Oh, we want to be careful. And just throw some more hammers like that. We want to get out of the way. And then we can actually uncapture and just ground pound on the final hit. And if we watch here, we can see the Mecha Brutal is exploding. And we get some more fireworks, just like in Bowser's Kingdom. And with that, that gives us the multi-moon. And so you just want to jump and collect it. In order to get Captain Toad on the dark side, you're just going to, after you've beaten the boss and grabbed the multi-moon, you'll be taken back to the Odyssey. So you just want to come and capture this wire again. Also, there's no checkpoints in this kingdom, so I'll most likely have you come to the Odyssey a lot. And then what you want to do is you're going to go this way. And, sorry, once you defeat the boss, you'll actually unlock that wire. So if we climb up here, and capture it, it will take us all the way up here. And this is actually, you can actually take that wire if you want to refight the final boss of the darker side, because there's the pipe. But if you go over here, you'll actually see a little hidden area with Captain Toad, and if you talk to him, he'll give you a power moon. Now I want to explain something before we get into the next ones. Power moons 3 through 14 are actually sub-area power moons. Now what's interesting about these sub-areas is we've already been through these sub-areas before. However, these versions of the sub-areas are much more difficult. So keep in mind, it might take you some practice before you actually get these power moons, but that's okay. It took me a while to get these ones. So just keep that in mind, and now let's get started with the sub-area power moons. In order to get Breakdown Road, hurry, you're going to come back into this sub-area, go over here, and behind here you'll see a scarecrow. You're going to go throw Cappy at it and enter the door. As you can see, you might remember this sub-area, but this time we don't have Cappy. So what we're going to do is we just want to run this way. We can long jump to this and then back over here, jump, and grab the key. Now the problem with this is there's now going to be a Bonsai Bill chasing us. So we have to hurry up this way before it catches us. And then we can drop down here to grab the power moon. In order to get Breakdown Road Final Challenge, you're going to come back in the sub-area. You want to leave and then come back in, so that way the bridge is reset. But anyway, this is what you want to do. Make sure you follow my lead, because this is very difficult. So anyway, we're just going to go across the bridge as normal. We can long jump across here again. We're going to avoid the key, And we're actually going to go down here. Now, there's one thing I want to mention. So after you go past the key and you go down here, you don't want to turn around. You don't want to stay here for too long because there's a bonsai bill. Now, in the regular version of this sub-area, you would just capture the bonsai bill, and take it over there to blast away that wall. But the problem is we don't have Cappy. So what you have to do is you have to long jump between these blocks. Now, what's difficult about this is you have to wait till you get to the end of each block before you long jump. So just make sure you watch carefully how I long jump, and then it might take you a couple tries to get this down. But that's alright. Just make sure you watch carefully how I long jump. Just like that. And after a little bit, you'll see the bonsai bill blast away this wall. And then you can grab the secret power moon. In order to get Invisible Road Rush, you want to come to the main area of the game. Or like this big open area right here. So just take the wire. You're going to come over here. And then what you're going to do is you're actually going to drop down here. And then you'll see a pipe and a door. We want to go in the door. Oh. And you might recognize the sub area. But when we did this sub area, we had Cappy, so we can clean the poison away. This time you don't have Cappy, so you have to be careful. We're gonna throw a rock. Oh. Throw a rock at the piranha plant. Then get rid of it. But yeah, you really want to use the rocks to your advantage. So if you press the right joystick, you can go into first person mode. So that way it's easier to aim. There we go. Okay. We're going to jump for this one. Alright, for this one, we're going to jump and dive. Ouch. Now, this one, we're just going to go right here. And now, I know the power moon says invisible road or path rush, but you don't actually have to rush this. Then we're going to dive to here, jump on him. And then for this first one, we're just going to throw a rock. Oh. Alright, actually, here's what you want to do. You want to, so from, if you start right here, you just want to jump and dive. For this one, you want to triple jump up on. And this one, you also want to triple jump. Or you can do a ground pound jump to get up. That works too. And then as you see, we break the cage and grab the power moon. In order to get Invisible Road Secret, you're going to leave and then come back into the sub area. We're just going to do the same thing we did earlier. Oh, if we kick away the rock, we can actually just jump and dive on this one. And then jump and dive here. Jump. Oh, if you fall, that's okay. If you'll just die and have to restart, but if you're in assist mode, you will just end up right here. Anyways, what you want to do is you just want to jump right here, or wherever it looks safe on the spinning platform, you want to jump there. And then what you want to do is you want to wait till it turns this way, because you will actually see a little treasure chest over there. So, and because there's an invisible path here, so if we go on it, it will take us in. We're just going to ground pound on the chest and grab the power moon. In order to get Vanishing Road Rush, you're going to come back to this main area. So you could warp to the Odyssey and then take the wire to come back here. And you're just going to go this way, jump up here, And then you're going to walk around this way. And right here, you'll see a little secret. And inside this little cave, you'll see a scarecrow with a door. Throw Cappy at the scarecrow and walk in. Now, you might remember the sub-area from, like, Metro Kingdom. I think it is. Where what you do is you grab the scooter and rush along, press the P switch, and just rush across the road. But this time, we don't have the road, the scooter. So here's what you want to do. You want to play in, you want to play with the Joy-Cons detached, so that way you can go faster. But when you roll, if you shake the Joy-Cons really fast, you can actually go much faster, so like this. As you can see. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to press the P switch. And we're going to go really fast. We're going to go this way. Be careful, avoid the tank. And there we go. Now what we're going to do for this one is we're going to dive, jump and dive, 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 roll once, and then dive, and then just roll again. And when I say roll once, I mean like get into the rolling position and then shake one Joy-Con once. But anyway, for this, we're just going to go this way, go over here, and then we're going to just rush this way. We can long jump off. And then right here, we can grab the Power Moon. In order to get Vanishing Road Challenge, you're going to come back into, leave and then come back into the sub area. And you're just going to play the sub area like normal. Roll all the way along for the first one. Sorry about that. For some reason, Mario just rolled right over the P-switch. But anyway, you're just going to jump and dive for this one. And then for this one, when we get on this one, you'll actually see a side path with falling platforms. You want to go on that side path. So this is what you want to do. You want to come this way. So you want to just jump along and dive if you can to easily grab the Power Moon. And then if you continue this way, you can come all the way back to the end, grab that Power Moon again if you want, and then go in the pipe to leave. Now, for these next 3 sub-areas, because, well, after these 3 sub-areas, those are the final ones, I'm going to show you how to get both Power Moons at the same time, because what they require is they require Yoshi eating fruit, and so what I will just be doing is I'll show you where all of the fruit locations are in each sub-area, and then if you follow along, you would have gotten both Power Moons for that sub-area. So for Power Moons 9 and 10, I'll be showing you how to get Yoshi Under Siege and Fruit Feast Under Siege. So you're going to come to the main area, and you're going to go this way, over here. You're going to come back down here, but this time you're going to go up here, and go in here, in the pipe. And make sure you follow my exact lead. So you're going to capture Yoshi. There's 2 fruits right here you want to grab. 2 fruits right here you want to grab. Now, you do not want to break this, because what you can do is, so if you you don't want to break this for the ramp, and I'll show you why. Okay, so if that first block breaks, that's okay, but you don't want the second block to break. So if you jump and press Y, Yoshi will stick to the wall. Jump, press Y, jump, press Y. Keep doing that till you get up here. Then there's 2 fruits right here you can grab. And another fruit right there you can grab. Then there's 3 fruits under here that you can grab. And then if we make our way up here, we can actually jump this way and grab these 2 fruits. Then we can just jump back. Then we can do a flutter jump up here. Grab those 2 fruits. So watch out for this guy. Then you want to come all the way over here. I believe that was it. Yeah. Well, let's make sure. Yeah. So you want to come this way. And then you can stand on here to get more height. But you want to do a flutter jump over to these 3. Then you want to jump down here because you'll see a fruit there. So if you do a somersault and then a flutter jump, you can stick your tongue out to get the fruit like that. And then over here are the final 2 fruits. And if you grabbed all of the fruits just as I did, you would have gotten both power moons for this sub-area. Now for the next sub-area, I'll show you how to get Yoshi on the Sinking Island and Fruit Feast on the Sinking Island. So we're going to go over here. And down here, there is a moon pipe. So you're just going to go in. And now this is probably the most difficult Yoshi sub-area out of all of them. So here's what, so make sure you follow my lead. And again, just like the breakdown road sub-area, this one is probably going to take a couple tries. So starting off, there's 2 right here. Then you want to come up here, grab those 2. There's 1 right there and 1 right there. Sorry, and then 2 right there. 2 right there. 2 right there. Then 1 on each side of this. Then there's 2 right there. Then there was 2 right there where Yoshi just ate them. And then the final 2 are right here. So that is the most difficult sub-area in the darker side. Either this one, no, this is the most difficult sub-area in the darker side. It's the hardest one, but so that's why I said it might take you a couple tries. But if you followed along and grabbed all of the fruit, you would have gotten both power moons for the sub-area. For the final sub-area of the darker side, I'm going to show you how to get Yoshi's Magma Swamp and Fruit Feast in the Magma Swamp. So what you're going to do is you're just going to come around here, and you'll see a pipe right here. You're going to go in. Now this sub-area, the Magma Swamp sub-area, is much more chill than the Sinking Island one. But anyway, make sure you follow my lead. So what you're going to do is you're going to come over here. There's actually hidden blocks right here, because if you flutter jump and press Y, you can go on here to grab these 3 fruits. Then jump down here to grab these 2. And then you can jump around back to the beginning. There's 2 in the front. And then you want to wait for this island to rise. So that way you can grab those 2 and those 2. Then you want to go over to this one. And you can also eat the fire. You want to get rid of this piranha plant. And grab these fruits right there. Then you want to go over to this island. And here's what you want to do. You want to kind of aim like this to grab those 2 fruits. And then if you grab this island, you can grab this 3rd fruit. Then you want to come over here, get rid of the piranha plant, grab these two fruits, and then flutter jump to grab this fruit. And if you grabbed all the fruits I showed you, you would have gotten both power moons for this sub area. Now for the final 10 power moons, I'm going to be showing you some artwork power moons, I guess you could call them. So those found with found with Seaside Kingdom art power moons, there's 10 of those here on Darkside. So I'll show you how to get all 10. In order to get found with Darkside Art 1, you're going to come to the main area, and right here is the first artwork. You just want to press A to look at it, and then after you look at it, you'll see that Poochie Pup, like burying something in the Cascade Kingdom. So after you look at it, you want to go to the Cascade Kingdom. Once you make it to Cascade, you want to warp to the Fossil Falls Heights checkpoint. That's right here on your map. And then you want to go over to the Battle Arena. Now we have to look for the spot that looks just like in the picture. So in the picture, it was kind of like, but he was on the hill of the arena digging up between like two waterfalls. So it's not that one. It could be this one. Let's test it out. And sure enough, it is. After you ground pound, you just want to grab the power moon. In order to get found with Darkside Art 2, you're going to come back to by the wire, and you're going to go over here. You'll see another little artwork right here. And you'll see some abstract art. But I mean, if you pay close attention, you'll see H. And what this H should remind you of is like a helipad for like a helicopter. And what the helicopter should make you think of is Metro Kingdom. So after you look at it, you want to go to Metro Kingdom. Once you make it to Metro Kingdom, you're actually going to warp to the heliport, which is right here on your map. And already you'll see it's looking like the picture. We have the helipad and the yellow bars on the side. If you remember, the power moon was just above the yellow bars. Right there. And if we ground pound, we get a power moon. In order to get found with Darkside Art 3, you want to come back to the wire. And if you go over here, past the pipe to this thing of vegetables, you'll see like a grid, kind of like a tile format. So this is probably hard to think of, but if you've been here before, which in order to unlock the dark side, you have to beat the game. That's one of the requirements to beat Darkside, to unlock Darkside, is to beat the game. And if you've beaten the game, you've end up in Mushroom Kingdom. So if you've been to this location in Mushroom Kingdom, you might know exactly what that is. If you haven't been to this location, you might not know what it is. But for now, all I'm going to tell you is after you look at it, you want to go to the Mushroom Kingdom. Once you make it to Mushroom Kingdom, you're just going to this way. Oh. Alright. And we've made it to the garden. And now, so this is what the garden looks like from Mario's perspective. This is what it looks like from that top-down perspective. And if you look, we see there's purple coins on the bottom right by these bushes, and purple coins on the top left by these bushes. So which means if we're facing the right way, there should be a power moon on the left entrance. So let's make sure right here. Yep, there's purple coins there. Right there, there's purple coins. So which means there should be purple power moon right here in the left entrance, just like the picture. In order to get found with the Darkside Art 4, you're going to come over here. And right here, you'll see some more abstract art. You just want to click A to look at it. And I don't know what you might see this as, but at first for me, I thought it was a cake. I'll let you know right now, it's not a cake. But if you look at like the white dots, the white circles around, you can kind of see like they look, with the way the gray and white parts of the circles are, they look like phases of the moon. So with that, you might instantly think of going to Moon Kingdom, but you actually want to go to Cloud Kingdom, and I'll tell you why later. For now, just go to Cloud Kingdom. Once you make it to the Cloud Kingdom, you're going to just get to the big area. And you'll see, like I said earlier, this looks like one of the phases of the moon. And if you look, you'll see they have the white circle on the bottom and the grayed out circle on top. And if we get into this position where the white's on bottom, gray's on top, we'll see that the power moon is in the leftmost circle. So now we must find the white or gray circle. So we're going to go this way. And if we look, yeah, this circle is completely white. There's no gray. So which means that power moon with that circle with Princess Peach on it is the completely gray one. Which means if we go over to this spot right here, there should be a power moon right in the middle. In order to get found with Dark Side Art 5, you're going to come over here. You're going to go down this way, and you'll see some artwork. And right away, you should know what this is. This looks like the Sub-areas from Snow Kingdom. So with that, you should know where to go already. You want, after looking at it, pressing A to look at it, you want to go to the Snow Kingdom. Once you make it to the Snow Kingdom, you want to go to the above the ice well checkpoint, and then you're just going to go into the well to get to Sub-areas. Once you make it inside, you're actually going to go over here to the racing area, down here. And if we look, we can already see that there's something there. So if we look, we can see the sign on top of this arch looks just like the picture we saw in the dark side. If we look at that picture, we can actually see the sign looks just like it. And you can also see that there's an exclamation on top, meaning that that's where the moon, that indicates where the moon is. But if you look, you can see like next to the sign, there's gray bars that just kind of curve downward. And if we look, you can see that the gray bars is actually the arch that curves downward. So if we come up here, like that, go on top of the arch, we ground pound, and right on top, there is a power moon. In order to get found with Dark Side Art 6, you're going to want to come back to the wire and go this way. And right here, you'll see some more art. Now, this probably looks very confusing to you. So I'm just... but if you look, like, at the umbrellas... If you look at the umbrellas... And... what are they called? The pillars... that might look like the umbrellas and pillars from Seaside, and that's because they are. So you want to go, after looking at the picture, you want to go to the Seaside Kingdom. Once you make it to Sand Kingdom, so if we start the Odyssey, you want to go this way, and I'll show you why here in a minute. If we go this way, we'll see Talkatu. Now, this is a little interesting because, here, let's take a look at the picture. So if we look, we can see we're supposed to start with Talkatu, then we move up to the binoculars, then we move right to some umbrellas, and then we move down to some pillars. Another thing to note, you'll see that there's a compass in the middle pointing north. So what you want to do is you want to start at the Talkatu, and you want to head north to the binoculars. Alright, so now that we got that settled, what we're going to do is we're going to look at, so get in front of Talkatu and look north. To make this a bit easier or faster, we're going to capture a Gushin. Oh, let's get rid of him. Continue going north. And looking up ahead, you'll see the binoculars. Now, if we stay facing north, and remember what the picture looks like, next we need it to go right to 3 umbrellas. And what kind of helps is that the binoculars are facing the correct direction. So we're just going to use some rocket flowers to get across. And as you can see, there's an umbrella right there, but that's not the triple umbrella. But if we climb this way, you'll actually see that, so if we stand, like, I can't really show you all together, but there's an umbrella right there, and 2 umbrellas right there. So these are the umbrellas that we needed to find, because there's 3 umbrellas together. They're not really real close together, but they're still together, and they still form the same triangular shape. And now you know, if we were still facing north, from the umbrellas we need it to go down, so that would be, or south, so that would be this way. So if we go this way, and if you look, there's actually more binoculars to point us in the correct direction, so that's pretty cool. But anyways, we're going to go across these rocks here. We're just going to go over here, and you'll see some pillars. So if we go this way, ground pound in between, we'll get the Power Moon. In order to get found with Dark Side Art 7, you're going to come this way, or go back to the wire and then come this way. Go up here to this patch of vegetables and go around here. Now, this might look very confusing. So, and I don't know what your first thought is, but my first thought, was Sand Kingdom. And keep in mind, you want to look at the picture, so that way you can activate it. My first thought was Sand Kingdom, but it's actually not. If you look at the color of the ground, and there's like leaves in the top below the 4, you can kind of recognize this is Lost Kingdom. But that's all I'm going to tell you for now. After looking at the picture, you want to go to Lost. Before we go anywhere in Lost Kingdom, here I want to take another look at the picture. If you look on the side, on the left and top sides, it says C4. So let's go back to the game. Then let's look at the map. We can see on the left side, there's letters, and on the top, there's numbers. The reason for this is so you can see what cell you are in. So a cell is A1 is any of these squares. So A1 is a cell, A2 is a cell, B1, B2, those are cells. Each one of these squares. Well, the square it wanted us to go in was C4. So if we go to C, 3, 4 is right here. So this is C4. Well, it was kind of, the Power Moon was kind of up against a wall. So it wouldn't be this right here. So there's 2 options it could be. It could be this chunk of land this small chunk of land right here. or this very tiny chunk of land. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here. And we're going to go right here. And here's something I want to do. I'm going to zoom in on this wall for you. You see that? This is the picture. Okay, so let's take a look back at the picture. Don't they look very similar? And that's because the power moon is right here in this spot. In order to get found with Dark Side Art 8, you're going to come back to the wire. You're going to go this way, past this patch of vegetables, and right here, there's some hint art. And you'll see Luncheon Kingdom. Now, this power moon, I would say, is pretty difficult, because if you don't recognize what it is right now, you'll realize that it's actually a spot the difference. So, with that, you want to look at the picture. If you can spot the difference, great, but if not, I'll show you what the difference is later. But for now, you want to go to the Luncheon Kingdom. Once you make it to Luncheon, you're going to go to the Piranha Plaza. And, well, before we start, let's take a look back at the picture. So, if you were trying to find it on your own, but couldn't find the difference, I'm actually going to show you the difference. So, if we take a look at the right picture, if you see those purple coins and how there's a group of, there's a orange fork on the left, a blue fork on the right, and a group of 3 forks above them. But if we go to the right picture, if we look at the purple coins, you'll see an orange fork on the left, the group of 3 on the top, but no blue fork on the right. And so that difference is that blue fork. So if we go over here to where the purple coins are, and ground pound about right here, maybe? It's right there. So by this pillar, you will get the power moon. In order to get found with Dark Side Art 9, you're going to come back to the wire, go this way, and right over here, past this patch of vegetables, you'll see some art. Oh. Now, this might look very confusing. You just see a bunch of pillars, some broken ones, and that's it. And at first, this does look very confusing. But if you recognize this, if you can recognize this pattern, you'll actually understand it very easily. But if you don't recognize this pattern, I don't blame you at all. But all I'll say for now is you want to go to the Lake Kingdom. Once you make it to Lake, you want to go to the Water Plaza entrance. Okay, so real quick, let's take a look at the picture. So if we look, you'll see 5 pillars on the left side that are perfectly fine. Then a pillar on the right after the 5 that's like halfway broken. Then a 7th one that's completely broken, and then 8th one that's like 2/3 of the way, or 1/3 of the way broken. And you'll see the power moon is in between the completely broken one, the 7th and 8th one. So if we look, you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 perfectly fine pillars, a 6th one that's like halfway broken, then this one's completely broken, and then this one that's, as you see, is only kind of broken. So if we ground pound in between the 7th and 8th one, we get the power moon. In order to get found with the Dark Side Art 10, you're going to come back to the wire, go this way, past these 2 patches of vegetables. You're actually going to make a right past the wire, and right here you'll see a painting, and you can see Poochie Putt burying something yet again. Now, This should be recognizable. If not, that's okay. But again, it should be recognizable what it is. It's Ruin Kingdom, and you just want to look for the spot in Ruin Kingdom where he's burying the Power Moon. But I'll show you where that is. For now, you want to go to the Ruin Kingdom. Once you make it to Ruined, you actually just want to stay right here. Now, if you remember the picture showed Poochie Pup in some dirt, and the dirt caved in downward, and then behind him was a wall. Well, if we look right here, we can see some dirt that caves in downward on each side, and the same wall right there. So if we ground pound, we will get a Power Moon. And that's going to be all for today, guys. If I helped you at all, make sure you like and subscribe, for it also helps my channel grow. And it's also free, and you can always change your mind later. Also, hit that notification bell so you will be notified when a new video comes out, and you won't miss out on one ever again. And I'll see you guys again when I show you how to get all of the Power Moons, or should I say, the singular Power Moon, in the darker side of the moon.